Hey, Shalom, is Brother Yashimazakar from the Israelite Report. IsraeliteReport.com. Upon my watch, all praises are definitely due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to all the brothers spread across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth and sincerity, those that truly believe and want to get the hell up out of here. I want to get this right quick in Hebrews. I know I talk about faith a lot, but faith is very important. Hebrews 11:5, it says, by faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death. Now, those of us that truly believe, hope to be of the elect, we want to make it to the chariots. All right, and avoid this coming destruction. It says, by faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death and was not found because Yahweh had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased Yahweh. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is. Now, some might say, brother, we believe he is. Good. We live in a world where many people do not believe he is. They don't believe Yahawashi is. We live in a world where science has become the new God unto these people, the people of this world. They feel like they have their new power, their new Messiah, their new Savior, their new deliverer. They don't feel like they need God because they have a new God, to put it plainly, so you can understand. It says, 6th verse again, it says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. I've been saying 144 all day long. I don't know if I've ever seen it. I've had this happen before, but all day long, 144. I've been giving praises to the Lord all day long. Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. All day long. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. By faith, Noah, being warned of Yahweh, of things not seen yet. Oh shit. Things not seen yet. Things not seen yet. Let that sink in. What do you mean I'm going to have troops busting my door? What do you mean they not gonna uphold the Constitution? What do you mean they? I I have to take a microchip or I won't be able to eat. By it says by faith, Noah being warned of Yahweh of things not seen yet, moved with fear. Knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. But he prepared an ark to the saving of his house. And you need to keep that in mind too. You know, you love your wife and your children. Well, nigga, the best thing you can do is be a servant of the Lord. And maybe the Lord will have favor, show favor to your household. Because it's about to get nasty out here. By faith, Noah, being warned of Yahweh of things not seen yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. The just shall live by his faith. And I don't give a fuck with nobody telling you. Faith. In these times that we're in right now, I don't give a shit who the fuck you are. If you don't have faith, and I mean if you don't truly believe, you ain't gonna fucking make it. You can talk all the shit you want to talk. You can talk shit to me. I've been through some shit. I've seen miracles in my life. Fuck this world. They can kill me tomorrow. Fuck everybody. I'm telling you, faith. Believing that he is. Believing that he is the actual deliverer, the savior. If you can't grasp that, the times that's coming, you are not going to fucking make it through this. You're not going to have an Israelite party and make it through this. Your fringes will not save your black ass through this. This shit about to get nasty. A lot of you are not built for war. You don't have a war mentality. You don't understand what it's like to give up all of your pleasures, the things that you endear, Slakia, the things that you love. I'll put it like that. You know the word I was searching for. You don't know what it's like to just set all that shit to the side, man, for the mission. Because it's going to come a time, I'm dead ass serious. I'm so serious. There's going to come a time when your black ass is going to be face to face with sudden death. All the shit that you've been talking, you're going to have to stand on it. Do you know what that's like? This ain't what you think it is, my guy. I'm going to get it anyway, even though some of you are probably tired of me getting it. But I'm telling you, it's very important. Ephesians 2:8, it says, "For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, not of works, lest any man should boast." Man, this is not the time to be talking about what the fuck you are, because you ain't shit right now. And when them stormtroopers come busting in your goddamn house, you gonna realize you ain't shit. And there's another 144. Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. I've been saying it all day long. I believe something's about to happen. Something's about to go down. Now, last week, I do want to say this. Last week, I don't know what happened, but half of my broadcast got cut. I had to cut it out because I was talking and somehow it didn't get recorded. It was like mute. And so, I was bringing out all these scriptures and somehow it didn't get picked up. So I just said, oh, well, I just, uploaded what I could upload. But Salakia for that, it is what it is. But, Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, I was able to upload what I could upload. So I have to get this off my chest. Over the weekend, I saw this video from this guy called NLE the Great, formerly known as NLE Chopper. And he was going into this rap beef with him and NBA Youngboy. They both suck, but I'll say this, NLE Chopper, as far as rap is concerned, is better. But anyway, what caught my attention was NLE Chopper was saying Yahweh, which the real name is Yahweh, so you don't get stupid, right? Because I don't want a nigga to really get stupid. The real name is Yahweh, but he kept saying Yahweh. NBA Youngboy, his opponent, is known to be a demon. On demon time. But NLE Chopper was saying in the song, Yahweh sent him to deal with NBA Youngboy, who's supposed to be Satan. On a black and white chessboard, you have to watch the video to know what I'm saying. And at the end of the song, NLE Chopper said, "Embrace my light and my dark." Because the Illuminati believe in, the light and the dark. They believe that they are the enlightened ones. They believe they are the true Luciferians. They believe they are the true light bearers. And basically they disrespect Yahawashi because Yahawashi is that true light. But anyway, Um, NLE Chopper was rapping over a beat. I forget the original song, but Tupac used that against Biggie, that same beat. He used it for Hit 'Em Up. I'm sure you guys remember Hit 'Em Up, how that beat went. But he used the original beat before Tupac even used it, the actual sample. And I believe that the chorus from the original sample is in Swahili. My wife is from Tanzania, and she understood the actual chorus. And she said, "Oh, that song is old." So she recognized it. I said, "Oh yeah, it's got to be, some Swahili shit because that's her language." Maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, correct me. But I thought it was interesting that Esau is so fucking desperate that he had to have two niggas, one playing, well, they said Yahweh, but Yahweh, and the other playing Satan or Shaitan. And I'm sitting there going, damn, this truth has gone out so much throughout the four corners of the earth. This devil is trying his best to pigeonhole it, to grab it. Even in hip hop. Now, in hip hop and rap, most of these little niggas are retarded. They're lean drinking, weed smoking, retarded ass niggas. But even some of them know they're Israelites. So they had to come in with this guy, NLE Chopper, who is known to be zesty and weird. He's done some zesty shit, some weird old shit in the past that will make you think he's a sodomite. They had him screaming Yahweh throughout the whole song. And then had him going up against NBA Youngboy, who's on demon time. I said, damn, Esau is that desperate? He know he's done. Even at our low estate, that we're at the bottom, our people are effed up. Even when it comes to the young niggas, the YNs, they gotta try to control this Israelite thing. Have a sodomite talking about Yahweh. Because they did it with the Christian church. Y'all know a lot of these people in the Christian church are sodomites and soft as hell. You know that. The choir boys and shit. You know they soft as hell. But they're so desperate. They're trying to say, okay, this Israelite thing that made it even to the YNs, the weed smoking, lean drinking, drunken, retarded ass niggas, even they are kind of finding out that they're Israelites, even if they don't quite understand it and what it means. They may be going all the way off in their belief, but they still know that they're Israelites because everyone's heard the word by now. So let's bring this dude, NLE Chopper, make him, because he's a light-skinned dude, right? Have him go against NBA Youngboy, who's a darker complected, darker complexion. Have him go against him, and let's still move our chess pieces, right, on the chessboard, the dark and the light, in that fashion. I hope that makes sense. The song is called KO, right? NLE the Great, formerly known as NLE Chopper. Go look up the song KO. And you'll see what I'm talking about. He's talking about Yahweh throughout the whole thing. Then you had Drewski, same week, by the way, making fun of the Israelites or mocking the Israelites. And I said, damn, this devil is really desperate. He knows his time is short. Psalms 83 tells you they really thought that the name of Israel would not be remembered anymore amongst the real Israelites, amongst our people. They took up that crafty counsel thinking they would get the victory. To see our people waking up, that is a nightmare for them. Now, right fast, I did get this from X. I'm going to try to make this quick. I'm going to try to speed through it. This came from somebody named Mr. Sausage on X. And you know this is an Edomite. Because why the fuck would you name yourself Mr. Sausage? But anyway, he's one of those conspiracy dudes on X. And he wrote this. For those in the back, he writes, Trump was installed to placate the masses while the United States is destroyed. Yeah, and we know that Trump was set up by the elites of Esau. And he's just kind of pointing that out. And he's a real smart ass. He likes to put out these little smart alecky posts on X a lot. But I'm going to show you why I brought this out. Because he's right. Trump was installed by the elites to pretty much stall the would-be insurrectionists. All right. Those that would fight back against the government if they really knew the tyranny. If they understood that both parties, the Democrats and Republicans, were both compromised. If they knew that. There's no such thing as a fair election. There's only the selection. And the selection comes from the elites of Esau, mainly the small hats. But this is what someone replied. This is why I had to bring this out. Someone replied this. I had hoped things would settle down once Trump got back in office, but sadly, they haven't. If anything, they've accelerated. I believe Trump is God's judgment on our nation. Yeah, you heard it right. This person says I believe Trump is God's judgment on our nation. So this person put hope in Trump, thinking Trump was going to be their savior. And I told y'all, I've been saying this from the beginning, you don't understand how much faith these Edomites have in Trump. They look at Trump as like their Messiah. I've known this shit since 2015. Some people are now, some brothers are now kind of picking on like, damn, they really look at Trump as like the Messiah. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. I'm telling you. And what I've been trying to put out there is like, y'all got to understand, when they finally, as a whole, the majority of these Edomites figure out, wait a minute, shit, this nigga Trump, he ain't on our side. He's bought and paid for. When they realize they've been betrayed, oh, they're going to go all the way to fuck off. Here's the catch. They're going to take their anger out on you, blacks and Latinos, because that's Esau's nature. You have to know these Edomites to understand what I just said. They never really, as they should, point their finger at the right people. But this guy says, I believe Trump is God's judgment on our nation. They don't even know what they said because they're so right. It just so happens that Trump is the last president. Okay? The Lord was going to bring judgment on this place any damn way. Jeremiah 5 and 7. Why not? Jeremiah 5 and 7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. All the nations are trying to be like America. All the nations trying to be like Babylon. All the nations. And I've traveled this whole world. And you will not go anywhere in this world. Trust me, I've been to Kuwait, I've been to Kyrgyzstan, Afghanistan, goddamn Paris, France, right? Italy, Turkey, Qatar. Everywhere you go in this world, you're going to see American influence. Germany, I forgot Germany. You see American influence all throughout this world. So these scriptures make sense to me. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, her philosophies, Salakia, her philosophies. Therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. Put on them ointments. Vote for another candidate. Try to find an easy fix, a new candidate. that can help make America great again. Because every 4 years, it's the same bullshit. You get a Democrat in office, they say, oh, that didn't work out, put a Republican in there. And the Republican gets in there, and then they say, oh, that didn't work, we got to get the Democrats back in there. And that shows you how fucking stupid you people are. And the Lord is making mockery of you. The Lord is laughing at you. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. Yeah, we'll heal this bitch. If you can find the right ointment. You know? The right herbs. Yeah, maybe this bitch can be healed. Maybe we'll heal that hoe. 9th verse says, and the Lord is just laughing at this goddamn place. It says, 9th verse, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Well, goddamn. We would have healed Babylon. But she is not healed. Forsake her. And let us go, everyone, into his own country. And a lot of people are doing that, by the way. Oh man, this shit's so funny because I know so many people from Africa. Of course, my wife is Tanzanian. But even I know certain people from, different places, and they be like, oh, I'm going back to my country. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, man, America's not what it used to be. No shit. Oh, man, the scriptures are I'm telling you, the scriptures come to life, man, in real time. It says, and let us go, everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven. So when this dude said this, let me go back up to that. Where was that at? He said, I hoped, and this is from Acts again. I want to read it right quick. I had hoped things would settle down once Trump got back in office. But sadly, they haven't. That's what he said. If anything, they've accelerated. This is an Edomite crying out. His Messiah let him down. He says, I believe Trump is God's judgment on our nation. Holy shit. My man's figured it out. Man. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, our power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Brothers, when you have Edomites admitting, confessing that the Lord is bringing judgment on America, there is no excuse. So you can get on me all you want to. But at the end of the day, prophecy is moving forward. You're laughing, you're scoffing, you're mocking. It's not going to change or upset prophecy. And if you niggas were somewhat intelligent, you would step back for a moment and you would say, if these crackers, if these Edomites are getting concerned, maybe I should get concerned too. I have this clip I want to bring out, but before I even bring it out, I want to get this. Psalms 34:3. This is one of my favorites. Oh, magnify the Lord with me and let us exalt his name together, because his name is important. I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. They looked unto him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. So I'm going to play this clip. You're going to find out why I brought that out. And that's because in the midst of this storm, we have a higher power that will deliver his men. And it's going to take a divine power to deliver us from what's to come. So I'm going to play this clip right quick, and then you'll see why I brought that out.
You literally cannot hide from ICE. For people who are thinking, I could hide my family, I could protect my family and hide them from ICE, you literally cannot hide from ICE. They are finding people with thermal heat detectors. Did y'all hear me? They are finding people with thermal heat detectors. And then when people don't want to identify themselves, they are using facial recognition to identify people. Also, if people don't want to give up their phones and let them get into their phones, they hook their phones up to a machine that automatically unlocks it for them. Guess where they got all this shit from? Guess where all this shit was tested first? Israel. That's why Netanyahu and Dookie Booty like this. Because he's teaching Trump all the steps to become a fucking dictator. That's why Dookie Booty want Netanyahu to get off so bad. That's why he keeps threatening Israel with aid if they don't drop Netanyahu's fucking case.
Now, you heard her mention thermal heat detectors, facial recognition, and there's this technology, this machine that they can use to unlock your phone. So the thing is, what she doesn't know and doesn't understand is that this is not new technology. This is all old technology. This is 20 years plus. Okay, because real quick, when I was, I said this before, in the Air Force, 2005, so this is 20 years for me. Long before the truth, long before I learned about the truth, I found out about all of this stuff, right? This is old technology that she's talking about. What they're using in Israel against the Palestinians and, what they're doing in Gaza, using Palantir and all of that, that's all old technology. See, what people don't get and do not understand is the seriousness of the situation that we're in. People don't quite get it. They don't realize that this will take a higher power to deliver us out of this. You're not going to do this on your own. You're not going to gather up a group of like-minded individuals, come together and overthrow the government. The technology that they have They could be sitting in a bunker, in an underground bunker, and they could just push buttons. This is why I'm always saying, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. What does that mean? Well, there's going to come a time when you're not going to find the Lord. You're not going to find his prophets either. You're not going to be able to go on YouTube and see what the Israelites are talking about. There's going to come a time when that's going to be a reality. I know I can be a bit, ramped up, amped up. I know how I can get, but I'm actually trying to tell you, learn to call on the Lord, seek the Lord now. Call on those heavenly names now. Get familiar now. Don't wait until the shit hit the fan and then you're talking about Yahawashi, Shem Yahawashi, Barakatah, Yahawashi, Shem Yahawashi. Just know your enemy is going to come in like a flood. And they will be as madmen, sparing none. Okay? That technology, that thermal heat detecting technology is old. But it can find you, it can locate you anywhere. You won't be able to hide. You won't be able to say, well, I'm off grid. They'll find you wherever you are. Then they have the facial recognition. 2020 was a test run. That's why they made everyone wear masks. They wanted to see how many people they could detect and locate with mask on, with face masks on. That was the whole purpose of you wearing a face mask in 2020. They wanted to see if they could still detect you with the face mask on. That's why I kept saying it was a test run. To give you a quick, analysis, quick understanding as to how that heat detector, that thermal heat detector works. Excuse me. Let's say you're in your house and, the troops come busting in your door, your wife and your kids or whatever. And let's say for the sake of argument, they spare your wife and your children, which they won't. But let's say for the sake of argument, they just want you. And you're hiding somewhere. You can't hide. That thermal heat detector will locate you. There's a hidden person here. There's a human body hiding in this location. This is old technology. It's going back 20 years plus. So this is why I'm always getting on IUIC and UPK for making it seem like this is going to be a carnal victory. Even if they're not saying that. The way they're going about this, they're giving the impression that they are going to defeat Esau by carnal means, by marching, by, forming some black military. That's the way UPK goes about it. And I'm trying to tell you, this has to come from up high. It's not going to work that way, where you're going to gather everybody together and you're going to go fight against the white man. You don't even understand the technology he has. So let's get Psalms 34:3. Again, O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. That's why I'm telling you, stop calling on some damn Jesus Christ and whatever, man. I'll get into that later. Call on Yahweh and Yahawashi. Pray for them to protect you. The Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. 4th verse says, I sought the Lord, and He heard me and delivered me from all my fears, because you're going to be in fear, including myself. We're all going to be in a state of fear. It says, they looked unto Him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The time of Jacob's trouble, we're going to be in trouble because we're going to get put into the same category as the rest of these niggas. Right? Esau just sees us as a bunch of niggas and wild beasts. So we need the Lord to deliver us from all of our troubles. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear Him and delivereth them. We have to believe that the angels of the Lord will be with us. He will send those angels of protection to deliver us out of here. Now, get this one again. This is another one we get all the time. He disappointed the devices of the crafty. Job 5:12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. So the Lord, we have to depend on the Lord to disappoint this devil, to disappoint the wicked. He disappointed the hands, he disappointed the devices of the crafty. It's the Lord that does it. We can't do a damn thing. Remember, this is not our rest. We're in captivity. We can't even get our people together to form not only a militia, but we can't even get our people together to create our own banks. Black people don't even buy from other black people. There's no union amongst black people. So this deliverance has to come from on high. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. The New World Order. That's their enterprise. That's their end goal, end game. A one world government. A godless world. That's their end game. 13th verse says, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Because it was the Lord that gave it to them in the first place. He gave them the weapon, the sword, which is that's their blessing. And the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. But He saveth the poor from the sword. And who's the real poor? The Israelites. I don't give a damn how much money you have. You're still poor in this society. Esau will take that away from you anytime he feels like it. All these athletes, you see, they go broke. That's why you see Mike Tyson, who's about 60 years old, still having to do prize fights. Take a loss to, what's this guy, Jake Paul? Can't really knock him out. That's why. And I'm just using that as an example. It says, but he saveth the poor from the sword, and Esau's blessing is the sword. Thermal imaging, what is it? Thermal heat detectors. That's a part of his sword. Palantir, that's a part of his sword. Facial recognition, it's a part of his sword. From their mouth and from the hand of the mighty, so the poor hath hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. So that's why I just, I want to say, stop letting these people lie to you. Stop letting these Israelite sellouts lie to you and make it seem as if you're going to form some sort of Israelite army by carnal means and destroy Esau. You're not. You're going to fail miserably. And don't let them pump your dumb ass up, right? And tell you, well, brother, if you not willing to fight in our army and come together, and we as black folk come together and fight against this devil, then that means you a coward. No, it doesn't make you a coward. It makes you wise, man. Use wisdom. I've been in the military. That's why I hate that shit. I hate that dumb shit that IUIC does and that stupid shit that UPK does. That's not wisdom. That's fucking stupidity. Okay? You can't fucking fool me. I was actually in the military. I've seen some badass motherfuckers in my time. If y'all don't mind me ranting real quick, I'm going to tell y'all some real shit. In the Air Force, they have some, because the Air Force isn't known for being like bold or whatever, or having like infantry and shit. But when I went in as a military police officer, we had to do air combat, defense, law enforcement, and security. So we had to do all three, right? So we were trained by Marines and Army and all that shit. But anyway, there's this particular career field in the Air Force called pararescue. These are the motherfuckers that wear the red berets in the Air Force, right? And their thing is, they basically go rescue men in combat that have been wounded. And I remember one time, and there's some bad motherfuckers too, by the way. But I remember this one time, me and my homeboy, we ran into one of them. They call them PJs. We ran into one of them. This motherfucker was cut up, right? I mean, cut up. White man, cut up. He looked like the poster child, like if they was going to recruit you to any branch in the military. But anyway, this motherfucker, look, you could tell he had been through Desert Storm and every goddamn war since he had joined the military. He looked crazy as hell, and he was crazy. And we stopped and acknowledged him. And while we were talking to him, this motherfucker was looking at us like a robot, like he was scanning us and shit. You know how a robot look at a human being and like kind of like scans them up and down to detect whether they are a threat or not? That's how he looked. Okay, and I'm just giving you one example because we worked along um, all different branches because I went in during wartime. And I'm telling you, a motherfucker like that will wipe the floor with IUIC, with UPK. I'm just keeping this shit real. Do not let them persuade you to be a dumbass. Don't let them convince you to be a YN and a crash out. Because that's the setup. That's the plot. That's the ploy. That's the reason why they were set up in the first place. They are what you would call Judas goats. The leadership of ISUPK and IUIC, they're called Judas goats. They're going to lead you to the slaughter. They'll have you out there repping some shit. They don't even rep their damn selves. They'll have you out there trying to go up against stormtroopers, talking about Yahawashi. Or actually, no, they don't call on the name of the Lord. So what they would be saying, they'll have you saying, Most High Christ bless. And meanwhile, these troops, these stormtroopers, they'll be separating your head from your neck. Because I guarantee you, when the shit really hits the fan, they will not be out there marching with you. Use wisdom. Let me get this right quick, and I know I'm going on long. Sorry for that, Salakia. But Psalms 91 and 8, it says, Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, even our people. Because we got wicked people. We love to talk about the Israelites and Kwam Yasharala, but our people are wicked too. So you have to avoid their judgment. Don't follow, you know what I mean? Don't follow them. Be careful, man. Watch yourself. Psalms 91 and 8, it says, Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the most high power, Yahweh, through his only begotten Son, Yahawashi, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee. So I'm heavy on talking about the angels today, right? And understanding that the Lord has charge over the angels. You know, whether there was angels of protections or death angels, the Lord has charge. So who you need to be calling on, who you need to be respecting. You know? For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. And I'm, just know this. Look, I've been through a lot of shit in my life. A lot of shit I won't even talk about. And I've seen the Lord deliver me out of situations that I myself, to this day, almost can't believe it happened. And I'm not trying to be funny and say, like I didn't know the Lord could do it. But some shit I have to, I'm still a man. I know the Lord is all powerful, but there are times when I kind of look at certain things that I made it out of, certain situations I made it out of. My ex-girlfriend would tell you, because she even can't believe certain shit. But it's like, damn. I've seen the Lord deliver me out of certain bad spots I was in at the last minute. You You have to believe that the Lord can do that.